morning. Excuse the mess around me today. It looks slightly like a bomb site. I apologise. Right, I thought I would have a go at recording my first attempt at a mirror glaze cake. Lots and lots and lots I've learned even so far, and I haven't even started to make my glaze. I'll post the measurements separately, but I have got liquid glucose. This one, you can buy it in supermarkets. You will need 2 of those. I've measured mine already out in my pan. We have got sugar, which is also going in, and we have got water, which is also going in. We're going to turn on the heat and get those just gently heating up. Now, also measured out next to me, I have got my gelatine and water, which has been sitting for a while. About half a can of condensed milk, and over here my chocolate chips. Like I say, I will post all the measurements for everything separately, and bear in mind that whilst I'm not live, so you may or may not see this video, if you're watching it then we'll assume it went well. This is the first time I've ever done this, okay, so this isn't something I've practiced, it's not something that I'm used to doing or anything like that, so bear with me. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Natalie. My reason for doing this is it is partially to help us all learn a bit more about cake and stuff, but more than that, it's because I'm trying to get over a phobia of cameras. So I'm really not comfortable in this position, but I'm working on it, and actually every time I come to the camera to do this it gets a little bit easier, so it's obviously working. For those of you that watch these videos, thank you. You are helping me to feel like I'm not quite talking to myself. Now I'm just gently going to stir that. I'm going to heat it over a medium heat now, because I'm using a gas camping hob. I don't want it to heat up too quickly, so let's just try and turn it down a bit lower. Visions of making toffee or something before in the blink of an eye. It's really difficult to regulate on this stove, but I thought it was a good way of being able to show you. So right, I've got that nice and low now. You just want a medium heat. You don't want anything too low, but you don't want anything too high. That was boiling a little bit quickly. So we're just going to mix everything all in together. There are so many amazing pictures of these mirror glaze cakes, aren't there? Now, I decided that whilst I wanted to try this, I didn't want to eat any more cake. So the lessons that I have learned along the way are: don't ever try and ganache a dummy. It's really challenging. I have got my ganached dummy ready to try this on, so the next lesson will be, can you actually do this with a dummy cake, or will it all melt into a yucky mess? We'll find out. My ganached dummy cake is currently in the freezer, which is what you would need to do with a normal cake. I also don't know if you can do that with a polystyrene dummy, or whether when I go to get it out of the freezer to do the next step, maybe all of my ganache will be broken off all over the freezer. Who knows? In which case you'll never get to see this video. So there are always a lot of lessons that you can learn from anything. I could have made a cake in a fraction of the time that it took me to try and ganache a dummy. so never mind, live and learn and all that. Right, this is all mixed together really well. There's no look of sugar about it now. It's kind of a milky white colour. I'm going to increase the heat just slightly and let it come up to the boil. My gelatine has been sitting for probably about 20 minutes. I think it's just literally long enough for it to bloom, they call it, don't they, for it to absorb the water. And that is the next thing that's going to be going in. This is just starting to bubble now. So we'll grab our gelatine, which has formed in a nice lump in the pot, and this is just, again, just gently coming to the boil now. It's not quite there, it's not far off. So we'll pop our gelatine in there. Stir it in gently till it dissolves. Now, I've looked at various recipes for this mirror glaze. They all mainly use the same ingredients. Some are just easier to follow than others, I suppose, is probably the best way of describing it. Right, the gelatine is now just broken down and being stirred in and dissolved into everything else. The next thing that is going to go in is our condensed milk. Now, I don't have this at, it's not boiling anymore. I don't know whether it needs to be or not, so we shall see. The gelatine has dissolved really well. And it just looks still like a milky mixture. I think I'll turn it up just slightly. I just want to see those bubbles and know that it's all at quite a good temperature to be combined. Looks good. Looks good. I'm sure that the experts amongst you watching this will be able to tell me exactly where I went wrong with each step of the way. Right, I'm going to pour in our condensed milk. Now, I find it easier just to measure everything out in bowls before I start, so I just thought it might make it a bit easier, but I promise I will post the ingredients online at the end of this. So we're mixing our condensed milk in, and yeah, it's all mixing. I don't really know what I expected, but I think I was a bit worried that things might separate or, you know, look odd or something weird would happen. I don't know, all the things that we worry about when we overthink these things, that we go, oh, I want to have a go at that, but basically we're a bit scared that it might all go wrong. God knows why, who cares, you might have wasted a little bit of money, but you will have had fun trying. Anyway, right, I'm going to turn that up just slightly again to bring it to the boil. The next step is to pour this mix over the top of our white chocolate that we've measured out. Okay, I'm using Calibut because that's all I have in the cupboard. It's a bit like sacrilege really, because it's not going to be eaten. It's going over a dummy cake. So, right, that has come to the boil nicely. I don't want it to boil up or anything. I'm just going to move this further back. these out of the way. And then, okay, so we now have got our white chocolate in here, and then hopefully you will be able to see the consistency of this as I pour, and you're just literally pouring it over the chocolate chips. Sure, it won't make any difference, but we'll put every last bit in just because we like to make more washing up of more spatulas. Right, okay, so it says about using an immersion blender with this. I wasn't going to be honest. It says about stirring gently. I was just going to do that. It says about letting it sit to let it dissolve all of those chocolate chips. That's, I don't know the things you have to be careful of with this bit, but I'm kind of assuming that you really don't want to be introducing too many air bubbles. So you don't want to be stirring it madly or anything like that, but I'm just going to leave that to sit. Now I have got a sugar thermometer which I use for chocolate work anyway. Get one, they're only a few pounds. I'm sure you're going to use it on other sugar work. Now we'll check the temperature of this, but with the mirror glaze the important thing is the temperature at which you pour it. Okay, so this is currently off the scale, well over 100 degrees F. So we want to get this to 90 degrees F for pouring. So as we knew it would be, that is way too hot. We're not going to attempt to pour it at this point. We are just going to leave it to sit, and we're going to leave it to cool. I'm going to come back and check it in 10 minutes. I'm just going to leave it on the side. I'm not going to put it in the fridge or anything like that. I'm just going to let it sit. So I'll come back and show you the next step, and I'll let you know how long that I left it sitting there for, etc. In the meantime, I'm going to wash up. See you all in a while. Bye.